Hey, thank you so much for watching and listening. And of course, I want you to subscribe. This is a fantastic channel, really good content. And we're continuing our series called Tapas with Jesus. Tapas. Tapas is little Spanish plates, and it's a really fun way to eat because it has so much diversity in the flavors and textures. And it's really lots and lots of fun because of all the variety. And this series, we're looking at a variety of conversations with Jesus, small, brief, and pungent conversations. And so today I want us to consider a conversation with Jesus that is in Matthew 15, verses 32 to 38. And in these verses, and there's also similar to it in Matthew 14, verses 13 to 22. In both of these experiences, there's a big crowd that is following Jesus. There's like 4,000 men. There's one that has 5,000 men, not including women and children. And in this particular one in Matthew 15, they've been following Jesus for 3 days. And at the end of 3 days, Jesus says to his disciples, hey, we need to feed these people. I'm concerned they're going to faint if we don't give them some food. And the disciples say to Jesus, yeah, right. Where are we going to get food for so many people in such a remote area? And so the disciples they acknowledge this is a desperate need, but we're kind of backed into the corner here, and there's a desperate need and a massive inadequacy. We don't have anything near enough to meet this need. And I like what Jesus says. He says, how many loaves do you have? How many loaves do you have? And I bring this to your attention because I think all of us struggle from time to time with provision, right? Provision. So money, energy, wisdom, favor. Do you ever wish you had more favor? Favor among your colleagues, favor among students that you go to school with, favor with your teachers, maybe favor with your boss. Do you ever wish you had more money? You ever wish you had more energy? Well, how come we always drink those 5-hour energy thingies, right? Or drink coffee? Because we want more energy. I mean, there's always things where we want more. There's provision. It's a provision need. And Jesus steps into this provision need and has this brief, like what I call tapas conversation. What do you have? Because a lot of times we tend to focus on what we don't have. The inadequacy. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough favor. I don't have enough wisdom. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough strength. And there's the deficiency. But Jesus interrupts that. Not enough. No. He interrupts that and says, well, what do you have? Instead of focusing on what you don't have, what do you have? Because at some point we have to start with what we have instead of continually cogitating, ruminating, and cycling around what's missing. The deficiency. So Jesus interrupts that cycle and says, stop, hold on. What do you have? Do you have some wisdom? Do you have some money? Do you have some energy? Do you have some? So let's start with what we've got instead of that absence of seemingly what we don't have. Because once you start with what you've got, then that's a beginning place for Jesus to do who Jesus is. And I like this quick tapas conversation because the disciples say, well, we have 7 loaves of bread and a couple of fish, but compared to the ocean of need, this is like a drop, one raindrop in the ocean. It doesn't even blink compared to who all is here. And I appreciate what Jesus does. They bring him, he said, bring me the bread. And so the disciples bring Jesus the bread and the fish, and Jesus blesses. He blesses what is there. I think that's a real pivot point, key for all of us. It's a very tapas, poignant, pungent observation. Because so many times in our human mindset, we curse the deficiency instead of blessing the provision. The provision may not be enough, but let's bless what we have. Let's thank God for what he has given us. Let's acknowledge, yes, you have postured me. Yes, you have put me here. And being grateful, thanking God. And then putting whatever that provision is, let's put that in Jesus' hands. Because once it's in Jesus' hands, then the impossible becomes possible. And I appreciate that what happens is Jesus blesses the provision, blesses the bread, the fish, and then he begins to break it. and he gives it to his disciples, and it says his disciples gave it to the crowd. And so there's this distribution chain, if you will. And if we're really followers of Jesus, if we're kind of up close and in his groove and kind of enjoying conversations with him and really having tapas experiences, then the provisions that Jesus gives us as a close follower, we get to multiply that to the people around us. And it's not just enough. I think it would have been a tragedy, epic tragedy, if his disciples had gotten the bread from Jesus, blessed bread and fish, and just started eating it themselves for their benefit. It wasn't just for their benefit, and they knew that. And I appreciate that Jesus' provisions always go beyond what we could anticipate in our natural thinking. But the point of the multiplication is not only merely for our benefit, but it is also through us to the people around us. Because there are people around us, and multiplying what Jesus does in our lives, let Jesus multiply that to them and encourage them to build up, to strengthen, to provide hope, to provide encouragement. Sometimes we have resources, time, or money, or finances, or like just even love, just encouragement. Sending somebody a quick text, hey, I think you're awesome. Hey, I think you're great. It was really great. Maybe asking somebody to come for lunch or dinner, or maybe picking up the tab for somebody else or buying somebody's. But there's a lot of ways that Jesus can be generous through us. And not only to us, but also through us. And so in this tapas conversation, let's appreciate that we are carriers. We are conduits for Jesus' miraculous power. And we can pray for people. And you're like, well, I don't pray for people to get healed because what happens if they don't? It's not your job, not my job to heal anybody. It's Jesus' job. And if I yield and say, okay, work through me. I'm here to be a vessel. I'm here to be a distribution agent. I think it's a really powerful way for us to let Jesus be reflected through us to the world around us. So as we finish today, I just encourage you, hit the little notification button right there. Thank you for subscribing. It'd be fantastic. If you want to share this with your friends, that would be great. And then I want you to answer this question. There's kind of in the chat there, you can just leave this answer. In what way has Jesus provided for you? You're like, well, not lately. I don't care the timing on it. In what way? How have you seen Jesus provide for you? Could be favor with an open door at a job or getting accepted in a school. It could be a financial increase that you're like, it's kind of miraculous. Maybe you found some money. You're like, ooh, I didn't know. So in what ways has Jesus provided for you? And we're going to finish with a joke today. Woo, 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 woo. We love these jokes, kind of, maybe, sort of. So what do you call, and this is a really good one, what do you call an alligator who posts on Instagram? An alligator who posts on Instagram, you call him an instigator.
That's a good one.
Insta, right? I know. But next week will be lots better. Thanks again for watching and listening.